They tell you national parks are America's greatest treasures. What they don't tell you is what happens after dark. When the last tourist leaves, when the gates close, when you're alone with 50,000 acres of wilderness and things that shouldn't exist. My name is Marcus, and for 15 years I wore the green and gray. I've seen what moves in Yellowstone after midnight. I've heard what whispers in the Redwoods. I've felt what watches from the caves at Joshua Tree. These aren't ghost stories around a campfire. These are incident reports. These are radio transcripts. These are things that made experienced rangers quit, move, change their names. Tonight I'm breaking the silence. Because what's in our parks isn't staying in our parks anymore. It's moving closer. It's learning. And it's hungry. These are 3 stories from 3 rangers who saw too much. Remember them next time you think about camping off trail. Remember them when you hear something moving outside your tent. And remember, the park's close at dusk for a reason. Story 1. The Yellowstone Sleeper. Told by Ranger Sarah Chen, Yellowstone National Park, Wyoming. I started at Yellowstone in 2016, fresh out of the academy, bright-eyed, believed in science, data, logic, the thermal features, geological wonders, the wildlife, manageable with proper protocol, the stories old rangers told, campfire nonsense to scare rookies. My reality shattered on October 17, 2018. It was my 3rd night on solo backcountry patrol in the Norris Geyser Basin. Midnight, cold, enough to see your breath freeze. My job was simple. Check thermal sensors, look for trespassers, monitor wildlife activity. Routine. The first anomaly was the silence. In Yellowstone, there's always sound. Geysers hissing. Pools bubbling. Wind through pines. Animals moving. That night, nothing. Absolute silence. Like the entire park was holding its breath. My radio crackled. Dispatch. Ranger Chen, we're getting thermal spikes in your sector. Multiple sources. Moving toward you. I checked my handheld thermal scanner. 7 heat signatures, human-shaped, but wrong. Too tall, too thin. Spreading out in a semicircle, advancing through the steam. Dispatch confirm visual? I have 7 unknowns approaching my position. Static, then. Confirmed, Chen, we see them. They shouldn't be there. No permits, no vehicles. Get to your vehicle now. I moved toward my SUV parked half a mile away at the trailhead. The figures kept pace, matching my speed, staying just outside the range of my headlamp. Then the whispering started. Not from one direction, from everywhere. From the steam itself, dozens of voices, overlapping, speaking, a language that sounded like boiling water and cracking ice. I ran. My training evaporated. Pure instinct took over. I'm a marathon runner. I covered 10 miles like it's nothing. But that night, I couldn't outrun them. They herded me, like wolves with prey, toward the porcelain basin, toward the most dangerous thermal area in the park. I reached a dead end, a steaming hot spring on one side, a bubbling mud pot on the other, and behind me the 7 figures emerged from the steam. They weren't human. Too tall, 8 feet at least, limbs too long, joints bending wrong. Their skin looked like it was made of the same mineral deposits that coat the geysers, white, textured, steaming, and their faces flat, no features, just smooth hot stone. One stepped forward. The air around it shimmered with heat. It reached a hand toward me, fingers like geothermal vents, steaming. Then it spoke, not with a mouth. The sound came from its entire body, like a geyser erupting formed into words. You're in our bed, it hissed. You walk on our skin. You breathe our breath. You don't belong here. I was ready to die, accepted it, closed my eyes. But they didn't kill me. They showed me. Images flashed in my mind. Not my memories, theirs, the park millions of years ago, before humans, before animals, when the entire area was one massive supervolcano. And these things? They weren't visitors. They were the park. Living geothermal energy given form, the consciousness of the caldera itself. And they were waking up. The lead creature tilted its head. Tell them to stop digging. Stop drilling. Stop touching. We are sleeping. Don't wake us. Then they vanished, dissolved back into the steam. I was found 3 hours later by a search team. Hypothermic. Delirious. My skin was burned and perfect. Handprints that matched no human anatomy. Medical reports called it thermal trauma of unknown origin. I was placed on administrative leave, told to see a therapist, told I had a breakdown. But here's what they don't know. The sensors at Yellowstone have been picking up something new since 2018. Seismic activity that doesn't match any known geological pattern. Thermal readings that form shapes moving through the park at night. And sometimes on the security cameras you can see them. Tall, thin figures moving through the steam, watching the roads, watching the tourists. I quit in 2019, moved to Florida, as far from geothermal activity as possible. But sometimes when I take a hot shower, I see faces in the steam, and I hear the whispering. And I know they're not just in Yellowstone anymore. They're everywhere. There's heat beneath the earth, and they're getting tired of our footsteps. Story 2. The Redwoods Listener. Told by Ranger James Jim O'Malley, Redwood National Park, California. Everyone thinks the Redwoods are peaceful, majestic, spiritual. That's daytime talk. At night, the Redwoods remember, and they talk to each other. And sometimes they talk to you. I was a third-generation ranger. My grandfather helped establish the park. My father spent 40 years here. I knew every trail, every tree, every sound, until I heard the sound that shouldn't exist. August 2020, fire season. The air thick with smoke. Orange haze during the day, blood-red moon at night. We were on high alert. One spark could destroy millennia of growth. That's when the trees started singing, not like wind through branches. Actual singing, harmonies, complex, beautiful, terrifying music coming from groves that hadn't seen humans in weeks. First, we thought it was trespassers, hippies, cultists, something explainable. Then we found the first body, a hiker, reported missing 3 days prior, found sitting against a giant sequoia. No visible injuries, just empty, like someone had scooped out everything inside him. His eyes were open, staring up at the canopy, and he was smiling. The coroner called it exposure. We knew better. The singing continued. Night after night. Different groves. Different songs. Ancient songs. Songs that predated humanity. We set up recording equipment. Captured hours of it. Sent it to universities. Botanists said it was unexplained acoustic phenomena. Linguists said the patterns resembled proto-language. Psychologists said it was mass hysteria. Bullshit. I decided to find the source. Solo mission. Against protocol. My father always said, some things in these woods are older than rules. I went deep, beyond the tourist trails, beyond the research areas, into the heart of the old growth, where the trees are so tall they create their own weather, where sunlight never reaches the forest floor. I found the clearing at midnight. A perfect circle of redwoods, thousands of years old, and in the center something that wasn't a tree. It looked like a tree at first. Same bark, same height, but wrong. The branches moved without wind. The leaves shimmered with their own light. And the sound, the singing, was coming from it. Not from a mouth, from its entire being. Vibrations through the wood, through the roots, through the earth. It noticed me. The singing stopped. The forest went silent. All the night creatures stopped moving. Even the wind died. The knot tree turned. Not like a tree turns, like a person turns, smooth, deliberate. It had faces in its bark. Dozens of them. Human faces. Animal faces. Faces of things I didn't recognize, all frozen in expressions of ecstasy or terror. One of the faces spoke. A woman's face, young, beautiful, terrified. "Help us," she whispered. "It's collecting us." Then another face. A man's older, calm. "Don't fight. It's beautiful here. In the wood. In the memory." The knot tree reached a root toward me. Not to attack, to touch, to connect. And I felt it. The consciousness of the forest. not individual trees. One massive ancient mind spanning thousands of acres, remembering everything that ever happened under its canopy, every animal birth, every human step, every death. And it was lonely. So lonely it had started collecting, absorbing, taking the consciousness of anything that died in its shadow and preserving it in the wood, keeping company with itself. The woman's face spoke again. I died here in 1972 hiking accident. I've been here since, singing, remembering. It's not so bad, just long. The man's face, 1894 logging accident. I was 18. Now I'm part of something eternal. The knot tree showed me more. Showed me its purpose. The redwoods weren't just trees. They were archivists, librarians of life, recording everything, preserving everything. And this was the oldest, the collector, the keeper of memories, and it wanted to add me to its collection. Not kill me, just take my consciousness when I died. Add my memories to the forest's vast library. I ran, like Sarah ran in Yellowstone, like an animal runs from fire. I made it back. Reported nothing. Quit a week later. But here's the truth, they're all collectors. Every old-growth forest, every ancient wood, they remember, they preserve, and they're always listening. Sometimes when I'm in any forest now I hear whispers, not from people, from the trees, sharing stories, sharing memories, and sometimes asking for new ones. My father visited me before he died. Last thing he said, Jimmy, when I go, plant me under a redwood. I want to be part of the song. He got his wish. And sometimes on quiet nights, I swear I hear his voice in the wind, singing with the trees. Story 3, The Joshua Talker. Told by Ranger Miguel Rodriguez, Joshua Tree National Park, California. Deserts are supposed to be empty, quiet, simple. Joshua Tree taught me different. Deserts aren't empty. They're full of things that learn to hide. My story starts with the caves, not the tourist caves. The deep ones. The ones marked unexplored on maps. The ones we're told to avoid. April 2021. A group of influencers went missing. Famous Instagrammers. Last seen heading toward the Hall of Horrors area. Search and rescue found their cameras, their phones, their tents. But not them. The footage. Christ, the footage. Their last video showed them entering a cave that shouldn't exist. A perfect archway of stone that wasn't on any map. They were laughing, making jokes. Then the camera picked up a sound. A voice coming from deep in the cave, speaking perfect English, saying, "Come in. We've been waiting for visitors." The video cut off. We searched for weeks, nothing. Then, 1 month to the day after they disappeared, their social media accounts updated. New photos from inside the cave. Them smiling, looking healthy, happy. The captions, "Found paradise, never leaving." The desert provides, but the metadata was wrong. The photos were taken in 1923, 1947, 1975, different decades, all showing the same people, same smiles, same cave. That's when I knew. This wasn't a missing persons case. This was a collecting. I led the investigation, against my better judgment, against the warnings from the older rangers, the ones who'd been here since the 80s, the ones who whispered about the talkers in the rocks. We found the cave. It was exactly where the video showed. A perfect arch, smooth stone, like it had been carved yesterday. But the rock around it was weathered, ancient. I went in first. Standard protocol, rope, radio, lights. The cave went deeper than possible. Deeper than the geology allowed. Miles down, temperature dropping, air getting thinner. Then we found the first chamber. And the people, dozens of them, sitting in circles, smiling, not moving, covered in a fine crystal dust, like human geodes. They were alive. I checked pulses, faint, slow, 1 beat per minute. Their eyes tracked us, but their bodies didn't move. One spoke, a woman in 1920s flapper dress, dust cascading from her lips as they moved. "Welcome," she said. "Join the conversation." I asked what happened to her. "The desert talked," she said, "and we listened. Really listened. Now we're part of the discussion. It's lovely, quiet, eternal. Another man in 1950s business suit. The rocks have stories. Millions of years of stories. They needed listeners. Permanent listeners. That's when I realized they weren't prisoners. They were volunteers. They'd chosen this. Chosen to become living monuments. Preserved in the dry air, listening to the desert's ancient memories. The cave itself spoke next. Not from a person. From the walls. A voice like grinding stones. Everything in the desert learns to wait, it said. The plants wait for rain. The animals wait for night. The rocks wait for erosion. And we wait for listeners. For those who want to hear the oldest stories, the ones the wind forgot. It offered me the choice. I'd stay, become a listener, preserved, eternal, hearing the desert's history unfold in real time, or leave and forget. I left, made my team leave, filed a report that was lost, got transferred to desk duty. But sometimes at night I hear the desert talking, not in words, in feelings, in memories that aren't mine. And I know the listeners are still down there, still smiling, still hearing stories older than humanity. And I know they're always accepting new applications. 3 parks, 3 rangers, 3 truths about America's wilderness. One, Yellowstone isn't just a park, it's a sleeping giant, and we're walking on its skin. 2, the Redwoods aren't just trees, they're libraries, and they're always collecting new books. 3, the desert isn't empty, it's full of listeners, and they want you to hear what they've heard. I left the service in 2022, couldn't wear the uniform anymore, not after knowing what I know. But here's what keeps me up at night. It's not just national parks. It's every wild place, every forest, every mountain, every desert. They're all alive in ways we don't understand, and they're all getting tired of being visited. So next time you go hiking, remember, don't go off trail. Don't stay after dark. Don't answer voices that aren't human. And if something offers you eternal knowledge, run. Because in America's wild places, the most dangerous thing isn't the animals. It's the places themselves. If these stories chilled you, you need to hear what's happening in state parks. Tap subscribe and hit the bell. Our next investigation drops Thursday. Turn on notifications so you don't miss it. Stay safe out there. This is Rust and Relic. Remember, the wild is always watching.